Hello, Lindsay here to share a short tutorial on how to use the acrylic paint in your planner as a watercolor. I don't really like, you could use this just as it is. It's really beautiful paint, and it's really nice to work with. It's a Ranger product, which is quite nice. But we received this in the scrapbooking kit for March for Cocoa Daisy, and so I really, as soon as I saw that we were getting it, I really wanted to do watercolor with it, just because sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of, like, I guess, sheer coloring, like on your planner or even in a scrapbook page or whatever. And so I wanted to show you how I create this. So I've got myself a palette, I've got the paint, I've got some water and a brush. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to squeeze just a tiny little bit into the palette, and I say a tiny little bit, it really is just a tiny little bit. It's almost like a drop of water. You can see there, it's really tiny. And then we're going to drop in around the same size of water droplets, 2, 3, 4, 5. So really this is kind of like a 5-to-1 consistency, and we're just gonna smoosh it around, mix it up. And I've played around with a few different consistencies, and I really like the 5-to-1. It gives enough coverage so that you can still see your dots behind, but or like it's light enough that you can still see your dots behind it, but you can add, you know, if you're just gonna add a few different spots, say you want to do like a to-do list over here, and then maybe some sort of calendar date here, you can do that. You can even do a couple of straight lines for your to-do list if you don't want to do like a splash, I guess. I don't know, there's really no technical terms for this, but you know, just to add a little bit of color, if you wanted to add like a circle here for something, really just whatever kind of stuff that you want. If you want parts of it to be a little bit darker, you can go over the edges a little bit, or over the parts that you want to be darker a little bit, and then just give that a second to dry. And so you didn't commit to very much. You can see that there's not very much left there, so you're not wasting a ton of paint if you want to use the paint for something else. And it creates a really nice watercolor. And then so you're just going to rinse your brush out, and then you can take your pen. I'm just going to throw a heat tool over top of it for a second. You can also let it dry, and it would be fine. And with the amount of paint that we used, if you put it onto a drier brush and used it sparingly, it actually wouldn't go through like it has here. I did the 5-to-1 here on this page, and you can see that it didn't go through here. So you can play around with it a little bit to get it so that it doesn't go through, and then if it does go through, you can always cover it up with washi or a card or a die cut or a sticker, any of that, like that kind of thing. So I'm going to pretend that I want to do some to-do lists here. You could also do stamping over top of this. Let me grab some stamps and some ink. I don't know if I have a black ink right here or not. Oh, there it is. I didn't come prepared for this. So you could stamp say you wanted notes on this. Grab an acrylic block here. It's upside down. You could stamp on it like that, make yourself a little note section. You could use pretty much whatever you wanted. You could even use it as a background for a bigger stamp. So like this, for example. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. You could use it as a background like that, which looks really super cute. You could use it for a list. You could use it for a date that you have, or say like, well, Thursday nights is our dance lessons, so do some fancy lettering, or not so fancy lettering, I guess. There you go. And then, yeah, so hopefully you like that. Hopefully you'll use it to use up some of that paint if you want. You can, again, just use it straight on. But the dots will kind of go away behind the acrylic paint. So I just wanted to give you guys some options for using the paint inside your planner, but still being able to see your dot grid or your other grid if you used it in the front. Okay. Thanks, and we'll see you in my next video. Bye.